calms the storms and takes our cares and make you light as a feather. If you know that he's got no high, then go ahead, put your hands together, stand on your feet, give him a shout, tell the world that he reigns forever.
Romans chapter 5. I want to talk to you a little bit tonight about the grace in your place. The grace in your place. Romans chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Therefore, having been justified by faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ, through whom also we have access by faith into this grace in which we stand and rejoice in hope of the glory of God. Now there's a key statement in these two verses that I really want to focus on. And it's in verse 2. It says, we have access by faith into this grace. I'm reading from the New King James translation. We have access by faith into this grace. So it is faith that gives us access into grace.
All right.
But faith can only access what grace has made available.
Whoa, say that again, preacher. That's good.
Faith can only access what grace has provided. If grace has not made it available, then your faith cannot access it.
That's right. That's good.
If you try to enter into that zone, that territory, you will be trespassing. Because grace has not been made available for you in that area, in that particular place.
Go ahead, preacher.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Faith can only access that which grace has already provided.
Wow. That'll work.
Give the benediction, go home now. Listen to this. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8 says, for by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God. By grace you have been saved through faith. Salvation was made available by grace. But you access that salvation through faith. Until grace made salvation available, there was no access to it.
Wow.
So grace must make it available before your faith can access it.
Come on, preacher.
You can't get in the room unless grace opens the door for you.
You're going somewhere.
Okay, let me change it up a little bit. Watch this. The room doesn't even exist unless grace makes it available. Okay. All right, listen to this. Grace is the empowering presence and divine influence of God in your life, which causes you to do and to be that which you could not do or be without it. Grace is the empowering presence and divine influence of God in your life, which causes you to be and do that which you could not be and do without Him.
Wow.
It is because of grace, the empowering presence of God in your life, that you are even able to come into salvation. You are saved by grace through faith. Oh, yeah, you thought it was just an idea that you had one day. You know what? I think I'm going to start living for the Lord. I think I'm going to do right.
Hello.
Watch this. You know it wasn't your idea because you got saved and you still didn't do right. Still struggling. That's why they call it grace.
on, preachers.
That's right. So without the grace of God, you cannot do the things that God requires of you. You cannot be who God has called you to be. Okay, I got to say this. We get real good at doing stuff, especially in the church. We can do, but it's so hard for us to be. We can do all day long. We know how to do church. We know how to do religion. But you know what I realized? Listen to this. If God called me to ministry, if I become a minister, then I will naturally minister.
Come on.
I will do it by nature. If I become that, I'll do it naturally. The word minister means to serve. If I become a servant in my heart, then I will by nature serve whatever God gives me to serve to people.
I know you said it.
But if all I do is practice the art or the skill of church, if you will, then I can still be nasty, rude.
You said it.
I said it out loud too. I said it out loud too.
It's on video.
It is on video. So I can't take it back. So you can do all this. Listen. Do you know that when God speaks to you prophetically, he gives you a prophet, everybody ever got a word of prophecy?
Come on.
Everybody? Lord, everybody.
We prophesy this time.
Yeah. I believe it. Do you realize that when God releases a prophetic word to you, he's not talking about what he wants you to do? He's speaking about who he wants you to become. We miss that part and we jump out and just start trying to do stuff.
Come on.
Because God says, you know, I heard the prophetic word. He said, I'm supposed to do this. Well, go do it.
Go, preacher.
You run out and try to do it, then you get frustrated and you mess it up. And you got other people frustrated. Everybody with you is frustrated. Folks who used to like you don't like you no more because they're tired of it. You think they're just jealous of you, but they're sick of your stuff. Because you don't know what you're doing.